Hello everyone and welcome to this brand new program of Love Talk that will happen every Thursday at 10 p.m. I'm here with my wife Elena.
Hi everybody, it's a pleasure to be here again talking about relationships and marriage and love. I'm so excited.
And we're going to be here together every Thursday, 10 p.m. together as a couple to teach you how you can find the blessing of God for your love life, how you can find happiness for your love life. So join us for the next 30 minutes as we talk about your relationship. Let's listen to a beautiful song. We'll come back in just a moment.
I've come to you to lay down my past at your feet, to pour out my soul and to give you the due honor you deserve. Now I stand here, though I'm not deserving. I know you know where I've been, who I am, why I bring you this perfume. Yet you see, I believe the tears that I cry are sincere, have nothing of worth to offer you, but I give you my life. 'Tis all I can give you, the nothing I am. Make me new again, then come live in me. Hold me in your arms, Lord. I love you above all. Take me as your child now. My purpose in life is to exude your fragrance. I've come to you to lay down my past at your feet, to pour out my soul and to give you the due honor you deserve. Now I stand here, though I'm not deserving. I know you know where I've been, who I am, why I bring you this perfume. Yet you see, I believe the tears that I cry are sincere, have nothing of worth to offer you, but I give you my life. 'Tis all I can give you, the nothing I am. Make me new again, then come live in me. Hold me in your arms, Lord. I love you above all. Take me as your child now. My purpose in life is to exude your fragrance.
Welcome back everyone. Now one of the most important things that God speaks about throughout the whole Bible, and that goes also for relationships, is the word obedience. Obedience when it comes to forgiving people, obedience when it comes to not judging people, right? And sometimes people even put that in practice in their life, but they forget to do that in their relationship. And it seems like people live a double life. They live lives of obedience when they are at work and so on, but at home, in their relationship, it's very easy to be led by feelings and emotions and anger instead of obeying, also like you do in your daily life.
It's true what you're saying, very true. And I would like to start by asking people to think and look up the meaning of obedience. I think this is very important, even before we go into this topic, because this is what I like to say about obedience, okay? I love baking. It doesn't mean I'm good at it, but I just love doing it. And every time my recipe doesn't go well, it's because I skipped a step from the recipe. Yeah, I do that a lot, actually. I change it. And this is what people do. And obedience is something very powerful and yet very fragile, which means you've got to follow what it is. If you don't, you will not have the same results. And this is what we're going to be talking about here. Obedience is something very, very special that if applied properly, if the person understands really what it means, there is no way you will go wrong.
And how does that translate to your relationship? Well, you know that God speaks about forgiving, loving, not judging. And sometimes it's easy to forget to do that in your relationship, because when someone, your partner, for example, your husband or wife, they do something that you didn't like, it's very easy to keep a grudge. It's very easy not to talk to that person for a day or two. And when you do that, that's a form of disobedience. That's a form of doing things your own way. After all, disobedience is doing things our way rather than the way we learn from God's Word. So I want to encourage you to think about this. Last time you had a disagreement with your partner, with your husband or your wife, were you able to put your emotions to the side and say, well, we all make mistakes, and move forward? Or did you fight? Did you lose your temper? Did you say things you regretted? Because words are like bullets. Once you shoot a bullet with a gun, you can't take that bullet back. It's going to do the damage in whatever way that bullet will hit. And that's what happens in relationships. People sometimes, the partner says something they didn't like, so they say something that hurts the person, and then they go and apologize. It's good to apologize, but it's better if you have nothing to apologize for because you didn't say anything wrong. I know sometimes it happens, but you need to avoid that because it causes a lot of damage in relationships.
Indeed, I think if the person, I don't think, I'm sure, but because this is something I've been learning along the years in my marriage and other areas of my life, is that if you know what is expected of you as a spouse in that marriage, which means you know what is the will of God for you, what is your role? For example, me as a wife, what is my role? I have to look at my husband and respect him like I do the Lord Jesus. So if you think about it, how do you apply obedience to that? Well, every time you are about to get angry, you are going to be respectful. You wait for the right moment. You don't go shouting at God, disrespecting God, and not talking to God for a week because you're upset with Him. Do you understand? So there has to be good manners, like you would have towards God, towards your husband. Yeah. So this is just a small example.
And, little things, they make a big difference in your relationship. Sometimes you don't want to let go of a little argument, a pointless, useless argument. If sometimes you try to remember what you were arguing about and you can't remember. Exactly like this video from our friends from the Modern Marriage Moments. Here's what happens to a lot of couples. Of course, this is a more light-hearted way of what happens, but you can see how arguments start.
Ready?
Why are you turning right? It's faster if you turn left.
No, it's definitely faster turning right.
You don't... It's faster if you turn left.
All right, fine. I'm gonna turn left.
Good.
Not.
Your sense of direction is terrible.
Your sense of
Just
direction.
stop. Brandon, this is a driveway.
I know where I am going,
Oh my
Stephanie.
God. Where are we?
Stephanie, I know
Brandon,
exactly.
You do not know
Yeah.
how to drive.
I've only been in 2 accidents in my entire life.
How
You know
could
that.
I forget. First one was when you rear-ended me at a stop sign. Second one was when you hit the cop car.
I know how to drive. Hey, I overreacted back there. I'm really, I'm sorry.
I forgive you.
One, two, three, four. Don't stop believing. Hold on to the feeling. Street lights, people.
Brandon!
I know how to drive.
Right. You see, that's a typical example of what happens. And you know, when it comes to what we learn from the source, from the Bible, about relationships and building a loving, successful relationship, you need to be able to let things go. You need to be able to understand that the person is not perfect. Sometimes you demand perfection from the person, but you're not perfect. So next time that someone upsets you, you know, don't have a childish behavior. A lot of people have this childish behavior. Oh, my husband upset me, I'll block him on Facebook. I mean, what does that do? How does that solve the problem, right?
You know what the problem is? Is that people, they are forgetting to look at themselves. You know, before you think of someone a certain way, look at yourself. You know, before you get angry at your spouse, at your fiance, look at yourself. She has or he has to put up with you just like you have to put up with his or her mistakes. So I think there is a need of people looking at themselves so that they can be more merciful. And you know, talking about obedience, we were discussing earlier, something I would like to mention about the singles. We haven't forgotten about you. Yeah? So I'll let you lead, because I know you...
No, and
I know you're waiting for the right moment.
no, it's the right moment is now. But actually, with the singles, you know, going back to obedience, you've learned how to look for the right partner. And one of the biggest mistakes is to try to find someone based on appearance, based on what the person has, based on what the person makes you feel. When you do that, you forget the intelligent decision of seeing if this person has the same goals as you have. Sometimes the person looks very handsome, very beautiful, but you want one thing out of life. The person wants something else. You don't want to have children, they want to have children. You don't want to live abroad, they want to live abroad. I mean, that relationship, you may feel good right now, but it's doomed to fail. It's going to fail because you can't agree on the key things in life. And sometimes a person pretends these things don't exist and say, oh, let me just move forward anyway. You're going to get hurt. And it's not because God didn't protect you. It's because you didn't obey what you learned and the signs that these are signs that it's not going to work. So it's better for you to wait a little bit more. There'll be someone else, and then you can have a relationship that will last instead of one that will hurt you. Because when we get hurt, it's not just, you know, that week that you get hurt. It takes a long time to recover many times.
And some people don't recover. I know this sounds terrible, but it's true. And, you know, they always keep that baggage with them, the fear of being hurt again. But look at the disobedience. What does God teach us to do? He teaches all of us, singles, married, fiancés, everyone, live by faith. So what is to live by faith in that aspect of your life, you as a single? Is for you to look at the facts and for you to look ahead. What do you want? Imagine, see, have a vision of a happy marriage. So if you guys you don't have the same goals, like my husband said, You are not going in the same direction. You don't believe in the same thing. You don't have the same principles, and the list could go on forever. Then what do you expect? You are disobeying, and many times the singles, they don't follow the advice they receive in the church. You know, nowadays we have so much advice, meetings and the love therapy and all these things that we do in the church to help the singles decide, make good decisions, but they decide to follow their heart. And that is a recipe for disaster. We have seen that over the years working with couples, so we know.
I want you to see right now the story of a couple that when they came to the church, there was no hope for their marriage, no hope for their relationship. But they obeyed. They learned the truth and they obeyed. And today, their marriage is great, is a blessing, is peaceful. So, have a look at Ignatius' story. You're going to see what is possible for your future, for your love life.
One of the worst things is the fact that I put the gun offloaded, off safety on my wife's car. And I was determined by then to finish her. And I told her, you know that I can kill you like I'm killing a chicken. At that time, nothing really mattered, because when you are in those kind of mindset, when your life is like that, it's not really a problem, because I used to be a man who carried two guns, one between my legs, one on my wrist when I'm driving off safety, with a hit list for people who have wronged me. Some of them, there have been only one chance left before I shoot. That's the life I used to be. An angry man, a wrong man on the street, a man who was very dangerous to himself and to the public. I was a very bad example, a disgraceful father, because on my own mind, on my opinion, I was Mr. Guy, Mr. Don't Mess Around With, Mr. Cash, Mr. Cars, Mr. Guns, Mr. Bullet, Mr. Anger, Mr. Everything. In my own opinion, I thought I was the man. Because they were kind of young, when I come to my children, I change. That's what happened to a double standard person. When you know very well that what you are doing is not good. So when I come to my kids, I laugh, hi son, hi daughter, buy them sweet, put them in the car, hide the guns, hide the wrong things. Then I can play a good father, but a chameleon. After that, drop them off, their nanny, their grandma, whoever. Then I go back to my old life. I become who am I? I do what I was feeling like I'm good at doing. I can do good things, but that was not good indeed. I came from the military background. I was not really on a gang, but I was on the gang of my own. And many others who used to be soldier, many people who used to be soldier, we became so cold. I killed so many people. I lived that life of a soldier, freedom fighter for so many years. As a result, it kills my feeling. I don't have a problem if someone did something wrong and I know it's wrong to me. Killing him was nothing. It's a big shame to me, a very big shame. I don't want to think about it. In fact, when I think about it, I don't believe I did it. But on the other side, I have proof. My wife is a living proof, and I myself is a living proof that I actually did it. Killing my wife, the person who cares for me, the person who, I should say, the only person who decided and sacrificed her life to live, to put up with me, because not many can do. I think it was indirect killing of myself. I should have actually annihilated myself and my kids, because if I should have pulled the trigger, I should have reverted to more drinking, drugs might be, or more anger, or more killing. And the life of my children should be in completely disaster. After this kind of set with friends, we used to drive nice cars, we have money, the government is on our hands, but sleeping around, If after done all this, when you come back in the morning home and you know that your wife is not happy, you know that the kids, they still have some questions written in their forehead, you feel ashamed to yourself and you think, no, this is not right. I have to stop this. I have to stop this. I must be a man whereby my kids are happy, my wife is happy, a man of a family man, a responsible person, a statesman. I can't be doing this. But that is a short dream. You can only think like that. Before you know, in the afternoon, there's a phone call, we're at your bar, so come and join us. When you go there, it's the same situation, and it's a vicious circle over and over and over repeating itself, but there was no way out for me. The life I lived, it was surrounded by so-called friends, which are not real friends, because friends, they won't lead you to disaster. But by then, I treated them as friends. I realized that I actually don't like it. I don't like it, and it started making me agitated, feeling sorry, feeling guilty. It came to the point that is not enough anymore. I start having one side of my life demanding the real thing, a change, a concrete change, a permanent change. I realized that maybe it's the country, maybe it's the friend, the second friend I have. I must get out here. That's when I started to have the idea to come to United Kingdom. After I came to UK, it wasn't really a change. The same situation started again coming up here in a foreign land, which means that the problem was not the country, it's not the so-called friends, the problem is inside. So I have to find a way to change the inner so that I can be the man I want to be. I went to the center where all the aspect of life has been covered. But that is not just happening one day. We have to throw away, we have to wash our laundry on the public. We have to spill the beans. We have to let go of our pride. We have to throw it away so that we can embrace the advice and guidance we've been received from the center. If you let go of your life and follow God's life, that was the advice. Ignatius, you've been living this life for so many years and you haven't done good out of that life. You thought you are strong, you thought you are intelligent, you are a man, you are dada, blah, whatever you are, but your life is in a mess. Today I'm a real Ignatius. My children today, they have a father, someone who not only there to provide, but someone who is a friend. My marriage is transformed. We are living in continual honeymoon. We've been married now for 26 years. We just celebrated our 26th anniversary, and I can't ask no more. The only regret I have, I should have started a long time. Today I can look people in the eye and tell them that no matter philosophy, scientist, I'm not against scientists and philosophy, but no matter what you have there, it cannot change you the way God can change.
You can see through Ignatius' example that nothing is impossible. All you need to do is to want and to choose to do things the right way. So in order for us to finish the program today, I want you to understand the following. Building a successful relationship is like building a house. When you go to build a house, the architect and the engineer, they work together. The architect to design your house and the engineer to tell you how much weight each pillar can take, each wall can take. Okay, you have those things on paper. Now, if you choose to ignore those rules and you build your house the way you want,
it's going to be a disaster. You're going to have no house very soon.
Actually, I think the worst is that the house is going to collapse, right?
Yes, especially if you live in Asia, with the earthquakes.
Exactly.
But let's talk about the earthquakes of life.
Yeah. So if you don't follow those rules, you're doomed to failure with your house. Relationships are the same. And any good house takes time building. You want to build a house that lasts for hundreds of years, it's going to take time to build that house. Relationships are the same. If you want a fast track, if you want something very quick, it's not going to be it's not going to be what you want. You'll have something quickly, but you'll lose it quickly. You want to build a long-lasting relationship, it takes time. We've been married for 17 years, but we've had ups and downs. We've had to learn a lot and humble ourselves a lot. In the beginning, I didn't like to apologize when I made mistakes. I hated asking for forgiveness if I made mistakes, and that did not make things easy. So I had to learn. So we're all the same. There's hard work, but the person has to be ready to obey and to do that work.
Exactly. Marriage is, relationship is about giving. Give the right way and you will receive the right way. And through these programs, we are going to teach you how to do it.
That's right. So what I'd like you to do with today's program is decide to do that. Decide to follow the rules. What rules? Well, the rules that we learn from God's Word of how you build a successful relationship. If you do that, I guarantee you that it's just a matter of time until your love life is a blessing. Okay? Like we said in the beginning of the program, we're going to be here every single Thursday at 10 p.m. And I believe that this message was very helpful to many of you. We'll see you again next Thursday, and enjoy right now the program Miracles Can Happen, which show you that God is still the same today. He can still do the same things today. We'll see you next time. God bless you. Bye-bye.